Y'all, it is Taylor Bridges here, back with another review of Married at First Sight. This specific video will have episodes 16 and 17. We're doubling up this episode, you know, because I'm behind, but life be lifing. But I'm here, I'm back, and I'm better. And I'm excited to talk about these shows, okay? This episode 16, is The Unbearable Truth. Please check out the comment section because upon posting this video, I will put the timestamp for episode 17 in case you want to skip to the most recent episode from last week, and then obviously we had the new episode that came out last night because today is Thursday, May 4th. So I will have that timestamp in the comment section, so check that out if you're not interested in this episode. But this is episode 16, The Unbearable Truth. The couples are all going on a couples retreat. Kirsten can't make a beat and Shaq can't find the beat. So that makes them a really good match. I'm referring to when they were in the room getting ready for the retreat. I made it a point to work extra hard this episode to not repeat myself and harp on redundant topics of the show. You know what I mean? Like, we get the point about a lot of these people at this point. So this episode didn't have too much going on anyway, so we'll get through this pretty quickly. While Aries and Jasmine are in the car, they're playing this Q&A game. And I wonder if they ever have normal conversations without the prompting of questions from the show. Because I would imagine they're both Q&A'd out at this point. Can they talk to each other about anything other than the relationship? Like, my man, we love road trips. We love driving places. We like to listen to podcasts while we're taking long drives. But with any couple, there's just actually more to talk about than, what do you like about me? What's your favorite thing about me? How can I get you to like me? You know, most of us discuss pop culture topics, funny stories, you know, we gossip. You can gossip about another castmate, something. If you're going to play a game, why not play like Black Card Revoked or something light and fun and can bring their personalities out? Not this same old, you know, Q&A format that, you know, constantly shows how incompatible they are for each other. And it's especially annoying that they keep doing this because it's not like it's going to change anything. This doesn't... Okay. One of the questions asked in the car ride was who would struggle more if they broke up. And I thought that was so stupid for them to have to answer. First of all, it's not helpful at all. What kind of question is that? It's not helpful at all to what they have going on. What does it matter who'd be hurt more or who'd struggle more than the other? What would it change? And I'm like, these questions are coming from the experts, and I don't know. Like, I don't think that was a great question at all to throw in there. Nicole and Chris are driving up, and they're talking about where they're going to stay once the process is over. And remember, they have 3 dogs combined. Chris still doesn't have any sense of urgency to get a place with his wife. And that would make me uneasy if I were Nicole. It's like, stop saying, Chris, you know, stop saying how y'all will just figure it out. Like, now is the time to figure it out. And I think he needs to take the situation more seriously, being that he and his wife want to resolve this in different ways. And I think Chris downplaying and dragging his feet to come to a resolution is indicative that he's really not in a compromising state of mind. He's pretty much standing in his viewpoint and is expecting Nicole to acquiesce in time. And I don't think that's cool. But on the car ride there, I'm thinking, what is Nicole in the car upset about? Like, she's in a mood and she's saying she's trying to keep from throwing a temper tantrum. Maybe because of that conversation in the car with Chris, but Nicole knew she was coming to be on camera and around the other couples. And that's the conversation that she wanted to have with him. She brought it up. But you're a grown woman. You have to check that little attitude before you get around all these people, especially if you want to be couples goals for everyone. You know, Nicole thinks she's everyone's therapist and she thinks her and Chris are couples goals. Aries and Jasmine would have made a beautiful black couple had they been into each other. Side note, how great is it that Married at First Sight is no longer comprised of like 2-hour episodes? Y'all remember when they were like 2-hour episodes? I'm so glad that it's like an hour, like sometimes an hour 15. I could take that, but like, oh my gosh, you remember they used to drag episodes out and they would be so long. Oh my gosh. And this was just a couple seasons ago, literally. Like, if I'm not mistaken, this might be like the first season that's not like drug out as long, now that I think about it. Everyone is getting ready for the pageant show that they're going to be having on the retreat. The girls are coaching the men how to compete. And I loved seeing Kirsten and Jasmine tell Shaq and Aries what to do. Jasmine has an unfair advantage. You know, Jasmine, you know, is the beauty queen, you know, but I'm not mad at it. You have to work with what you have. Aries' plan was cute, but he didn't execute well. I think Shaq came out trying his best. He didn't know what he was doing. I think Chris came out the most confident and ready. He was dancing, had the personality. He killed it. We already knew Clint was coming over the top. His outfit looked a mess, but his slick bum was really cute. His confidence was high. And then he got to dropping it low. He was feeling himself. So I did love it, and so did Kirsten, apparently. Now, when are we going to see Clint and Dominique make out? Clint and Chris were my 2 top winners for the fashion show portion. They all answered their questions in an articulate and intelligent manner. I was shocked when Clint got last place. To me, he was first place or first runner-up, in my opinion. Easily. First or second place. Hands down. Shaq comes in as second runner-up. Chris gets first runner-up, and Aries takes first place, which is a total lie. And it's a rigged competition because there's no way he was first or second place. He was third at best. At best. But if it means that Jasmine gets to have a king to her queen, then so be it. It was a fun event, and I'm glad Nicole actually participated and enjoyed herself after all, because she was threatening to have a temper tantrum earlier. Aries and Jasmine looked really cute on the bed together. They looked so cute together to me. They were laughing and all that good stuff. I was wondering if Gina and Clint were going to share a bed on the retreat, and apparently they are, or they did. Clint still likes Gina, and I don't know why Gina is so resistant to liking Clint. I think he's a great catch, and you're married to him. It just doesn't seem like either of them have tried to be married. Like, try cuddling for a change. Like, they both act like they have another spouse and a host of kids back at home that you know that could be watching. Kirsten snores in her sleep, and I'm not surprised. Usually the really pretty women all have like a weird habit about them that's not so pretty. Speaking from experience, okay. On the wake up, Jasmine is complaining because Aries didn't wake her up to meditate. She voiced her concern and frustration, and Aries not only appreciated her speaking up, but he partook in another round of meditation that they could do together. Which I thought was really cool, because I would have been irritated, honestly, if I were Aries. Like, don't wake up with an attitude coming at me. Like, it's not that deep. We could just meditate again. I didn't realize you were as serious. I'm sorry. Like, I don't like when people wake up mad. I'm an early bird. I get up at 4:45 in the morning. Could you imagine? By 7, 8 o'clock, like, I done already been up. Like, no, I'm not trying to deal with anybody's attitude. Do not start talking to me and approaching me like that. That's gonna, no, not having it. You're not about to kill my vibe, okay? Aries says that he actually appreciates Jasmine speaking up, and I did too. I just wish her delivery was a little less attitudinal. But at least Jasmine is speaking up. So we'll be patient with her for now. But the immediate attitude when things don't go her way is not going to work in this relationship. Or any relationship. Nor is it attractive. And we've seen Jasmine do this a few times already. Several times already. We've seen her, when things don't go her way immediately, she immediately catches an attitude. And that's not how you respond, Jasmine. Just as an adult. So Aries and Jasmine are meditating. It was really nice. I'm glad Jasmine did end up speaking up, showing she does, want to be a part of Aries' life and what he has going on. And I'm glad that Aries was receptive and cooperative. So we take what we can get from this, at this juncture. And that's it. I'm not here to harp on the obvious, okay, that they will not end up together. But, we're just going to take what we can get. During their alone time date, Kristen brings up, this is Kristen and Shaq now. Kristen brings up decision day and how their communication has been lacking lately. I understand why both of them are confused. I think Kristen wants to be with Shaq, but her concerns aren't being heard or handled. The communication and the quality time, right? Plus, Shaq has been complaining about her not doing enough. He is rarely complimenting her wife skills, and not having that reassurance can cause doubt. And I think Shaq believes he's the only one who's having an issue. He probably doesn't think Kristen has a reason to not say yes to the marriage. Plus, as Shaq reminds us towards the end of the episode, he was the main one trying in the beginning. And it took Kristen a long while to even finally open up and remotely reciprocate any interest in him. So Shaq is probably a bit burnt out from coming in so optimistic and willing and ready for marriage. And their issue is clearly, literally communication, which is crazy because they're the most educated and articulate people. Like Kirsten is the most educated and articulate woman. Shaq is the most educated and articulate man on the show, that they happen to be in a marriage, but their communication is butt backwards. And to add insult to injury, Kirsten hasn't introduced Shaq to her family. But I do think she'll end up doing that either it's not next episode. Spoiler alert. But I think as they whenever they get closer to decision day, which is now, should be in real time now speaking, because it's already Thursday, May 4th, in real time speaking, by next week's episode 18, she should have introduced Shaq to the dad. Because you have to do it before decision day, especially if y'all are as close as you say y'all are. Gina and Clint claim to know exactly why the experts matched them, but their actions do not reflect that at all. I think Gina would like Clint more if she saw him among other attractive women. That's my opinion. Because Gina treats Clint like he's her gay male best friend. I think if Gina saw Clint in a space where he was wanted, she'd take to him much more. I think so. Jasmine and Aries are at an athletic gym having fun. I'm glad Aries encouraged Jasmine to continue to speak up about her concerns. She says sometimes he's on his phone a lot. And he said if she felt like he was ever too occupied by his phone, she could just speak up and say something to him. And I think that Jasmine wasn't speaking up because she didn't know where they stood, right? Since they hadn't even established attraction, at the very least. So him stating clearly that he appreciates her speaking up should definitely help Jasmine feel more in place about her marriage. But it's too bad all the good stuff is finally happening a week before decision day. So what good is it all going to do? The men are cooking. Clint is the executive chef, apparently. Clint gets right into how everyone's sex life is going. And I'm glad Shaq brought up how their sex life is for them to know the details of. I think once they reveal, whether they've consummated the marriage or not, if they're even comfortable revealing that, I think that should be enough detail, right? These people are on national TV, for Pete's sake. People do not want to talk about their sex lives like that. We are a week from decision day, and Gina and Clint keep insisting that they're giving their all to the marriage. And that's a lie. But okay, Shaq asks Aries what would change their dynamic. And Aries says a spark. And I'm thinking, go ahead and pack up then. It's not like he and Jasmine have been in a long distance relationship. You know what I mean? And now they want to explore what they have in person. They have literally been living together consistently for 2 months. If no spark has arisen by now, there is none to arise from. There's no spark that will arise. Which sucks because Aries has grown on me. And I really appreciate how he's been handling Jasmine on these later episodes. I wish this space that they're in is how they came in initially. because they could have had more time to grow. But that's just that's not how it happened. Even when he's given Jasmine acknowledgement and appreciation for her patience and persistence, it's like, what a nice gesture moment. I wish it could have been followed by a kiss on the cheek at the very least. But they're just not there yet. So it's just like, yeah, all these nice things are said. It's great that you appreciate her for the woman she is, but she's not the woman for you. So this is all for naught. Oh my God. Been having my mic inside my shirt the whole time. Now all the couples are having an 80s party at the retreat to celebrate Clint and Nicole's birthdays. I hate that Aries had to leave early because, like Jasmine said, they were really starting to make a breakthrough. But I would have left too if I were Jasmine. I do not want to be at a party with other couples and my man isn't there. But we do find out that it was just literally a day thing, like a quick in and out. So it just was worth it for Jasmine to stay put. I am wondering what the end game is here with Aries. You know, he's not attracted to Jasmine, yet he keeps showing up as someone who's willing to try for his marriage, but he doesn't show any romantic interest in her. But he thinks it's sexy when she yells at him. Like, I don't know what to think. And I'm wondering if production lit a fire under Aries to seem more interested in his wife up until decision day. Because if he's not genuinely interested in Jasmine, like, he's a psychopath. And I'm with Clint. I love the theme party. I definitely go all out for any theme. I don't care what it is. So that is the end of my review for episode 16. I want to notate the timestamp. All right. Now we're into episode 17, Married at First Sight, season 16, episode 17, Gatlinburg Getaway. All right. Aries had to go back home for a work meeting. He says it feels different without Jasmine and Duchess being there. And I don't know if I believe that, but I definitely would love to. Kirsten and Shaq and Chris and Nicole are at some sort of like costume store. Nicole mentions to Kirsten the lease issue. They can't live together just yet because they can't find a place that will accept their 3 dogs. And that actually makes sense, you know, why they would need to wait it out, because Chris only has 1 dog. Nicole is the one with 2 dogs. So either y'all break up, get rid of a dog, or y'all wait for a place that will accept y'all, or y'all go just rent a house that will accept 3 dogs. Oof. Y'all might just have to buy a house at this point. Everyone's costumes, men and women, they looked absolutely incredible. I loved the photos. I think everyone's look was very fitting for them. All of the couples and Jasmine show up to a lumberjack adventure park. There was just all this like strong lumberjack stuff to do, and it looked really fun. I'm actually taking my man to like one of those ninja gyms next weekend for date night. So the lumberjack activities got me really hyped because they looked so much fun, and like just being that active and fun. It's enjoyable. Clint was too hungover to do anything. I hate that feeling. Like, I'm so done with hangovers. Like, I'm over it. I'm over it. Gina makes an interesting point, though, that since her and Clint aren't attracted to each other, there's never been this need to impress the other, compliment the other, you know, do the things you do when you like someone and you want them to like you back. And that makes a lot of sense why they haven't gotten anywhere. Shaq and Kirsten disagree about the amount of communication they have. Shaq believes they have just enough communication. Kirsten feels like there could be more. I don't want to give an opinion because I can really see both sides. Like, I want to side with Shaq and be like, Kirsten be tripping. Kirsten probably wants more. But then again, like, I know I'm a woman. I'm in a relationship, and I know what it's like to, like, from on the asking end and the receiving end, what it's like to ask for like something that you think you're already doing very well. And your partner has a valid perspective. I'm not Shaq's wife. So, and I don't know Shaq outside of what I see on the camera. So I can't defend Shaq and say, Kirsten, Shaq has been very communicative with you, because I don't know what it's like when the cameras aren't there. So I have to back out giving an opinion on that, but this is not the last time we'll hear about it. Nicole is getting super frustrated playing mini golf with Chris. Very frustrated. And I thought it was childish. Point blank period. Grow up. This is the Nicole that we saw in the beginning of the season at wedding day when she was describing herself to be a bit much. I'm not judging Nicole. I'm not. I'm just explaining she's been suppressed for a minute now, and now her true agitation, her true annoyance is starting to come out. But I think she'll be fine. I think she regulates fine. She's allowed to kind of have a moment of losing control for a second. We all do. So I'm not judging her. I'm just pointing out that this is the Nicole that I thought that she would be the whole season, but she actually hasn't. So you can have your little moment, Nicole. Aries made it back on the trip from his work meeting. He says he missed Jasmine so much, so we'll have to see. I don't know. I already said I don't know what Aries' end game here is, so I'm not putting a lot of hope in it, but I'm just taking it for what it is, scene by scene. The couples are all sitting around playing a Q&A game. Really, at this point in the season, it wasn't much to discuss that we haven't already discussed. Okay, so we're skipping over it. We're going to fast forward. Nicole wants to dress up silly for breakfast, and she wants Chris to do it with her. I can see why Chris is confused. And I can see why Nicole thinks it's fun. I just don't see why you couldn't do it by yourself. It's a bit childish, period, okay? The couples are having their last breakfast on the weekend retreat. They're all going around saying what they need for their partners to say yes on decision day. I checked out because I'm not letting these people fool me, knowing we are one, maybe 2 episodes away from decision day. Aries telling Jasmine to keep doing what she's doing. Gina telling Clint to step up the communication. And whatever Clint said to Gina, there's just nothing else happening that will change their ultimate decision. So just stop it. But I do think Aries' efforts are kind of genuine. I think he feels bad about not being initially attracted to Jasmine. So he's trying to see it through and get there, but it's just not happening. So that is it. That's the end of my review. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm back, y'all. I'm catching up today, literally now as we speak. About to knock these out, catch on up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe, give me your feedback. I'm back. Much better, much more organized on my end, personal life, career-wise. So let's get these videos, let's watch these shows, let's talk our crap, okay? Thank y'all, bye.